Notes for my December 2024 reading of 1914 novel Dubliners by James Joyce. Today's Monday, 30 December 2024. I'm going to talk through my book and reading notes for my December 2024 reading of a fiction book conveying a variety of perspectives of Irish people in Dublin when the 1800s transitioned into the 1900s. Dubliners by James Joyce, 1914, initial publishing, though it was... There's a little bit of a preface in here, a blurb at the beginning about how it was submitted for publication 1905, and the form changed, and then it got published in 1914. So there's a 9-year fight just to get it published. You know? And it says the 1993 Wordsworth Classics edition paperback, ISBN in the video description. I started the book on Friday, 27 December 2024, and finished the book on Sunday, 29 December 2024. It's 288 pages. It took me 3 days. I read 40 pages Friday, 110 pages Saturday, and 138 pages on Sunday. This is my own copy. I bought it at the local public library, Richmond Beach Library. It was on the shelves, and there was a marker in it, and it was on a page just for, you know, Seattle Mariners versus Baltimore Orioles from 1996, Wednesday, May 29, 1996, and then it's on a page with Leonard. I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, born in the 1990s, early to mid 1990s. And I'm Tanis Presley, she, her, hers of Graceland. Yes, all good. And I'm part Irish, and Tanis is an Irish name. Roughly translating to English is timely. And then to add to that, maybe 15 to 20 years ago, I sat by the book sale area in a local public library, Richmond Beach Library, and read just the chapters named A Painful Case in Ivy Day and Committee Room, so they're 2 different chapters, before putting it back on the shelf. I remembered those chapters in this full reading of the book for me. This time, a week ago today, on Monday, 23 December 2024, I bought this copy, also at Richmond Beach Library, which is the copy I read for this reading. I'm going to try and make this shorter, so I'm going to jump into book notes, including construction and design. It's small, compact, and formatted full text. Yes, name, so page numbers at the top, even with the page name, not page name, book name, and then odd with the chapter name. There we go, and it's consistent formatting throughout. So there we go. Chapters, I guess I can find the start of a chapter. It doesn't actually have a chapter number, it's just the chapter name. A little bit different than some of the books from this century, this millennium. So I liked it. All right, reading notes. A number of the stories / people / perspectives in the book provided prices for items. I'm guessing in part to help contextualize the relative prices of the items being sought by different people for different reasons / purposes. Financing more generally is also, or was also, a theme throughout the book. Yeah, so it's kind of like they'll say, I think I did mark one place where there was a price where it's like, oh, I'll pull that one out, but like there's a lady who goes and buys plum cake, and they say the price of the plum cake, but they say prices of other items in the book, and like the plum cake is she gets it as a surprise and then loses it on the train or whatever when she's going to surprise people. So there's like, so then you get the item and the context, but also the price, and then there's a number of those things. So if everyone's interested in kind of like that, if it's brought up for, it's a theme, so it's throughout, but not necessarily in everything, or every detail kind of thing. And then there was food, both as food and in relation to prices, was a theme in the book as well. And it's each chapter is a different person, except for the last chapter where they call on some of the characters from earlier in the story, if you didn't pick up on that. And so it's kind of like, it's like a snapshot of Dublin, which is in Ireland, the city in Ireland for this book. So there we go. A snapshot of the city once upon a time. So thank you, Mr. James Joyce, for writing this. All right, I didn't flag it that much. We'll go through page 30 Oh, his quote, his mind as if magnetized again by his speech, unquote. Some people nowadays might call that compulsion speaking. Might. Okay. Page 31. Speaking about girls was, this is slightly related to the Elvis Presley thing. Speaking about girls, if you were a boy, was a no-no. Yes. So, like, I brought up how the 3-year promise of Elvis Presley to Colonel Tom Parker, if he didn't, like, if something interfered with that or something, like, that's a big commitment. And it was like, professional standards or social standards, not talking about girls. Right, so they're actually, I was like, it kind of adds weight to it, at least. Well, I'm part Irish, and so there we go. It's like, there's actual cultural founding decades before that happened or something. Okay, page 60, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay. But it was, so. Page 63. They used the word ditto, which was it's like same here or same as or same for me, but then it was also used as a Pokemon, if I'm recalling correctly. It was like 1914. Ditto was part of speech in Dublin, Ireland. Okay, page 69. He quote, he would be 31 in November, unquote. I was like, and he's like still questioning on whether he's ever gonna have a house of his own or like a lady of his own and stuff. And I'm like, I'm 31 years old. This is very relevant right now. So I should say I'm over 31.00 years of age, but under 32.00 years of age, kind of thing. So it's like, how about that? All right, now where the person marked it. And the pages 116 to 117, maybe they knew I was going to get it. That'd be very cool. Thank you, Madame and or Sir, for doing that. There's a Farrington, like Russell Carrington Wilson. And then there's a Higgins, like Peter Higgs, of the Higgs boson. And then there's a Leonard, like a Tanis Leonhardi. And, would I have marked this page anyway? If this person had not left that here. Yes, on page 117, the word mellow, as in a low energy state, is used. It's actually used later in the book as well. So it's spelled M-E-L-L-O-W. It's an archaic word, not a trendy word of recent. Again, initially published 1914. Page 134, there's stage directions are held together with a brass pin. And the writing of it is in purple ink, which I've brought up I've brought up thinking about publishing in purple ink on this channel before. So I'll bring that one up. Page 140. Oh, they actually talk a little bit about sexual orientation. They do bring up sexual orientation, and about how man isn't possible, or woman, or let's see, friendship, let's see, quote, love between man and man is impossible because there must not be sexual intercourse, and friendship between man and woman is impossible because there must be sexual intercourse, unquote. Like, I've had many of friends who I have not had sex with, so it's like, but so it actually does discuss sexual orientation. So there's one perspective for one of the characters. Right? It's not saying it's right or wrong, but it is conveying a perspective. Just like, that's actually, I kind of appreciate that over a century later. How things have changed. It was still a topic of conversation, or it was, and not still, as the opposite. It was a topic of conversation back then, even, and in books. Page 227. It's snowing in Ireland, and it actually brings that up kind of starting on page 227, kind of through the end of the book. And it's snowing in Dublin, but it's also snowing in the rest of Ireland, which I've brought up in my Heritage Travel Trip training, the topic of it snowing in Ireland, if/when I visit. Page 241, 15 shillings was income for writing a column each Wednesday for a newspaper. So there's one of the prices, was 15 shillings for a column one day each week. There we go. In conclusion, I marked full book reading, full book number, but full book reading number 76 for me for the 2024 year. Ireland Heritage Travel Trip planning. Any update reading this book? Yeah, from this book I learned and enforced, don't rush the trip. Like the snow all over Ireland at the end of the book, good things can be worth the wait.